For me, it's a Darwinian moment, which means that the people, some companies are going to fail and disappear. Some others, they will emerge stronger from the pandemic.
How will IBM invest in China in the future?
Well, I mean, we've always invested in China. I mean, this is no secret that IBM and China is a long-standing love story.
Will the deglobalization affect your long-term strategy for China?
No, I don't think it affects the...
What's the advantages for IBM to compete with Ali?
The hybrid cloud strategy. Recently, Forrester just issued a report, and we are the leading-edge leader on hybrid. Ali is somewhere here, but we are, the best here.
Hello, Alain. Thank you for your time today. Actually, before I saw you, I was thinking about how I should call you Alain or your Chinese name, Alain. Why did you choose Alain as your Chinese name?
Yes, I mean, we put a lot of thought into it when we arrive in a new country. Alain Bénichou is my French name, and then Alain is the Chinese name, which is very clear, give an impression of a sense of inclusivity, and also the deep blue and outstanding big blue, right? I mean, so that's of course a little bit of a smile of Alain Bénichou connected to IBM coming to China.
Mm-hmm. I think China is a new place for you when you decided to work in China. After 18 months in China, what's your general impressions of Chinese culture?
Well, so in my family, we've always loved China, right? So this is not a new thing for us. So, frankly, it really exceeded my expectation about living in China, the intensivity of everything in China, the culture, and also the values of the people, values to the family, devoted to their work, a lot of things that are really close to what we feel in Europe and especially in my family in France. So for me, of course, it's a very new thing, but I think I got used to it and got accustomed very quickly to this environment. And obviously, I mean, I'm working in an outstanding company with several people around me, all Chinese. They are also making my life a lot easier, and also the life of our clients.
Mm-hmm. Clearly, COVID-19 has a big impact on the business landscape. So how is this COVID-19 affect IBM, and how are your clients affected?
Yes. So the COVID-19 was a kind of an earthquake for the globe, right? The whole world. And actually, I mean, here in China, with the IBM company, I mean, we broke new ground because actually we were the first to weather the pandemic. And we invented a lot of things, how to procure masks and then, alcohol in places, making sure that we have temperature screening everywhere and so on. Because the first priority, of course, was to focus on the health of our employees and our clients, right? I mean, so that was the number one. So we had to invent something. So, and afterwards, of course, the government issued the guidance and we followed the guidance. But we were very ready, right? The Chinese people really weathered the pandemic was outstanding, in fact. That's the most important thing that I realized. At the end of the day, we think that this pandemic now is affecting the business and the economy. For me, it's a Darwinian moment, which means that the people, some companies are going to fail and disappear. Some others, they will emerge stronger from the pandemic. And one of the things, the very common theme, and I believe that the Chinese government and all the governments on the planet have realized that, is that digitization of the business is now a must. This is not a nice to have. This is the only thing that really allows these companies to emerge stronger after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. As we all know, China plays an important role in global supply chain, and this epidemic has proved to be very disruptive. So how IBM helping enterprise become more agile and resilient to manage their supply chains?
Well, I mean, that was one of the, you're absolutely right. I mean, one of the key solutions that we provide in the business. I mean, obviously, I mean, we have 4 or 5 solutions that we're really focusing on. One other thing is agile supply chain. And one other thing that we believe is important is to agile, which means be very agile. We, reroute the supply chain when there is a problem. We all know what happened in Wuhan. There was a very big node in the supply chain in this country. And obviously, I mean, it was closed down. So how do we reroute without disrupting your business? And we have now technology solution. We also instill artificial intelligence in everything we do, so that the agility is not just a word, it's reality, right? So one other thing that we're doing is very clearly to take advantage of the technology, the AI and the cloud that we have in order to help our clients continuously really refine and be more agile. Now, once they get that in place after the pandemic, it's a fantastic asset. Of course, it will help them during the pandemic. After the pandemic, this is going to be a new normal. And that's the key things. We are preparing in this Darwinian moment our clients to weather the storm and now emerge stronger when the new normal is coming out.
So I think IBM seems to be practicing that what it preaches by setting up the digital sales center. Yeah. What's the reasoning behind this, and how is it going now?
Obviously, you can address much more clients than being face to face. And also, look at what happened to us with COVID. I mean, it was impossible to meet the client face to face for a long time. Now, we're back to normal, almost normal in China. We can now travel again and so on. So the DSC, Digital Sales Center, was really a way to keep in touch with the client, continuously represent our solutions. It's also a way, by the way, to instill the talent with our clients, because we have very new talent, young talents that we had, in the digital sales centers. They are, from the Y generation and the Z generation, and they're really engage with the client in a different way. And that's a fantastic opportunity, both for us.
I think China is so big, so there are so many business and territory to cover across the overall China. So how are you working with the local partners to increase your reach?
It's about now hybrid, and with the acquisition of Red Hat, as you know, we're now a system that allows a company to really shift from one cloud to another in an agile way. And that's, thanks to this OpenShift platform. We call it, by the way, the 4th platform. One of the things that is so important now is to make sure that this is not just an IBM solution, this is also a Chinese solution. The only way to do it, by the way, is to have that represented by some of the ecosystem partners that really are going to build on this technology themselves, which is the most important thing for us. Ali Cloud is certified on OpenShift, for instance. So this is one example. Digital China has recently been certified as the prime business partner of Red Hat. And they will provide to the immensity of the territory of China, this Red Hat solution, an OpenShift solution. So this is for us, obviously something that we want to continue and enhance. We also have created joint venture, as you know, with Inspur. Our power business now is a Chinese business. It's IPS, is the joint venture between Inspur and IBM. And they're making tremendous progress in the area of the government, public sector, rural, but also regional, remote. So we can access, of course, but we also can deploy, solution as Chinese solutions.
For the latest data, we saw that China's GDP grew at 3.2% in the second quarter, which became the first major economy to return to growth on the COVID-19. So how is IBM China's business recurring?
Well, I mean, we want to take advantage of this fast recovery of the Chinese business, and we also think that this focus on domestic market is also IBM's focus. I mean, we want to focus on domestic, and we're also, of course, helping the Chinese business to expand internationally because they still need to do that.
How do you think about the globalization?
I think it's up to the politicians to decide, what they want to do, decoupling, deglobalization, or.
For the latest data, we saw that China's GDP grew at 3.2% in the second quarter, which became the first major economy to return to growth under COVID-19. So how is IBM China's business recovering?
Well, I mean, we want to take advantage of this fast recovery of the Chinese business, and we also think that this focus on domestic market is also IBM's focus. I mean, we want to focus on domestic, and we're also, of course, helping the Chinese business to expand internationally because they still need to do that. And IBM is extremely well positioned because we're located in 175 countries. So who else can help this business to grow internationally better than IBM? But in the domestic market, there's so much to do. I was talking about the access to AI. I think 18 to 20% only of the companies really use AI, in the daily life, in an operational way. So that's where I think IBM can help. And I also believe that when we are, focusing on this fast recovery business with the national agenda, national infrastructure, IBM is also very open. So we are extremely well connected with the Chinese business, and also very well respected. One of the things that I have to say, as a French guy, coming to China, I used to run IBM in France. I mean, the companies in France, they like IBM, but not as much as the Chinese companies like IBM. And I would tell you that we call that the Net Promoter Score. The NPS of IBM in China, which is the customer satisfaction of IBM in China, is one of the best in the world.
How about IBM's global business and the epidemic?
Well, I mean, the global business is really focused now on this transformation to what we call the fourth platform. So, and let me explain a little bit what we mean by that. The fourth platform is hybrid. So, because the cloud is now everywhere, in fact, public cloud is so important. But the reality is that you really need a platform that helps clients navigate throughout the cloud. Do they want to put their workload totally safe, totally secure in-house, on-premise? Do they want to move this workload to this cloud provider to benefit from their technology? Or all of a sudden, they want to change their mind and move this workload to another one. How do you do that dynamically and creating what they call the containers that will encapsulate all the application and move from one cloud to another? This is a very powerful thing because it allows the CEOs to immediately, when they think about something, get the application running. So you don't have to wait 5 years to build the whole thing, the whole IT. Immediately, with this platform, fourth platform, you become much more relevant on the spot. You don't have to wait. So this is a tremendous asset and tremendous leverage for the enterprise. So this is what we're shifting the company towards now.
You mentioned that China has a lot of opportunities. So how will IBM invest in China in the future?
Well, I mean, we've always invested in China. I mean, this is no secret that IBM and China is a long-standing love story. Well, I think I heard that we were in Shanghai precisely, so we were in 1936, I think, right? So this is a long story. When we think about what's going on in the world, we need to think about this horizon. This is not the short term. We need to think about the long term. And IBM is in China, will always be in China, I think, and I believe that if we are authorized, if China respects and authorizes IBM to operate in China, we'll always be here and serve our clients.
We talk a lot about the new normal. In your opinion, what's the new normal like?
Well, I explained that. I said that the new normal is taking advantage of this hybrid opportunity that will really transform the business, transform the IT. The second thing is the new normal is IT is everywhere. Well, you can see that in the street now. I have to say, don't mix up two things. IT is everywhere, and I see the people, ordering food, on their mobile, and this is very clear that China is paying with the mobile and so on. China is much better than anywhere in the world. So you might say, okay, so China is much advanced. That's for the consumer. Now, we need to bring these technology advancements to the enterprises. I told you 18%, 20%, around 20% only use operationally AI for their business in order to reroute the supply chain, in order to really have digital workforce, in order to really have immune system in their cybersecurity. Those are the things that they can do. But the new normal is precisely getting what you all know on the consumer side now to the enterprise. And that's very different. Why? Because the enterprise is regulated. There's a lot of regulation. A banking cloud is not like a cloud for you and me. That has a lot of, the regulator in each and every country, not just in China. They have, laundry list of things that you need to abide by in order to really, create a cloud. Can bring the regulated cloud and, the hybrid cloud to these companies so that they are, leveraging this new normal. So we have a lot of work to do. We think that, in reality, this is, and we said that, it's a $2 trillion opportunity that we are now attacking.
Recently, I think there are many talks about the globalization because of the disruptive epidemic. How do you think about the globalization?
I think it's up to the politicians to decide, what they want to do, decoupling, deglobalization, or more. We, IBM, as I told you, we have decided to be present with ourselves, our brand, but also our talents and our ecosystem in more than 170 countries. So we are a true global company. We want to remain a true global company, but we also are, very focused, as I said, in the domestic market. So whilst, we are a global company, we really want to localize our offering in China for Chinese business. And we, as you know, we respect all the regulation in every single country we operate in. So this is very important for us that we focus on responding to the needs of our clients with advanced technology and talents. That's the only thing that is the rest, think about the horizon. I said that, the IBM is 109 years old, very, very old, right? Reinvented almost 4 times. I told you about the 4 platforms. So it's very big reinvention after, one after the other that transformed the whole IBM. We are living through this kind of transformation. And at the same time, we're living through an extraordinary times of pandemic. So I believe that, when you think about the long term, we have a very bright future. In China.
Will the deglobalization affect your long-term strategy for China?
No, I don't think it affects we are very, very clear, on saying that we are observing what the situation is, and we comply. We comply with the regulations and the executive orders, the things. Of course, it has an impact on the business. And sometimes we are very vocal, and we're very vocal in saying what we think. We believe that in a world that is more regulated and that abide by international law and trade, we want a level playing field. We want IP protections. This is no secret that IBM has put forward very, very clear desires in order for us to operate. And especially level playing field, which is so important because at the end of the day, remember, I mean, this is several thousands of Chinese employees that work for IBM. We always say, I always say, and this is what I do, I think that IBM China is a Chinese business. IBM France is a French business, right? And so let's make sure that we focus on serving our clients and really responding to their needs. And that will be the thing that we expect for the future.
What's the advantages for IBM to compete with Ali?
The hybrid cloud strategy. Recently, Forrester just issued a report, and we are the leading edge leader on hybrid. Ali is somewhere here, but we are the best here.
Or would you like to take a look for the future of the IT industry?
So for me, future industry, 5 years from now, I bet you that it's going to be quantum.
So I think IBM is also in China for China. So IBM, how to be localization in China?
Well, I mean, this is so very important that we provide local offerings. We have a Chinese labs that are localizing the solution for the Chinese market, but we also rely on our ecosystem partners to really make the technology, the core technologies, Chinese technology. And then we believe that when something like OpenShift is embedded into a very, very large solutions, the solution can be created by Digital China or Ali Cloud. It doesn't matter. It becomes a Chinese solution.
You mentioned Ali Cloud, so I want to ask, what's the advantages for IBM to compete with Ali?
We compete with a lot of people, but we also collaborate with a lot of people. This is what we call co-opetition. This is the new normal, by the way. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to get used to it. There is not one against another. There is collaboration. IBM now, in terms of the hybrid cloud strategy, recently Forrester just issued a report, and we are the leading edge leader on hybrid. Ali is somewhere here, but we are the best here. So that's why I think that Ali can also take advantage of IBM, on this fourth platform and this OpenShift hybrid strategy. And there is no contradiction. Okay, we know how to put the barriers and create the walls between our business, their business, and the way we collaborate.
Under such a condition, the globalization is slowing down. If we want to still do some cooperation on international level, do you think which area or industries we have more opportunities?
Well, I mean, the industry, there are opportunities here in China, of course, because of our franchise, but also our knowledge about the financial services sector is certainly the number one industry. The second one I think that we can bring a lot of value to is the telco industry, because of the advent of 5G. And with this hybrid cloud and virtual network, we can save a lot of money. China Unicom, China Mobile, China Telecom. So this is also an area where we need to collaborate already, and I think that's another opportunity for us. So I mean, this is a huge market. It's auto industry, of course, right? The auto industry China is a land for a lot of new technology advances in the electric car, autonomous driving, and we're collaborating not only, by the way, with Chinese companies, but also international companies in China, BMW, Volkswagen, and the likes. So this is the three industries I want to mention, where I believe there is tremendous opportunity. But I don't want to forget the retail opportunity, because this is where I grew up. I used to be the retail leader in IBM globally. And retail is reinventing itself, with, of course, the e-commerce, but not just the e-commerce.
Or would you like to take a look for the future of the IT industry?
Yes. So so there are a number of things that we believe are gonna make. It's always a bet. If you ask me, I think in the short term, hybrid. You remember, IBM created the term e-business a long time ago. I mean, it's like, and then, e-business became the norm, right? I mean, behemoths were created on the e-business story that IBM created in China, like Ali, Tencent, right? Baidu. When you think about the short term, it's going to be hybrid. 5 years from now, this is going to be quantum computing. 5 years from now, we have now, reached, a level that we are not going to be able to break with this kind of technology that we have, with the silicium and, the microprocessors. So we need to shift technology. This is new breakthrough. So for me, future industry, 5 years from now, I bet you that it's going to be quantum.
Okay, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alain.